Very good afternoon to all the viewers at Catz.org. I'm here with the second interview of the second day, and it's with Berg from Lemondogs. Visibly not very satisfied with the results he had. I guess he'd rather be playing right now instead of, for example, TCM, but it's not meant to be, and I think that's quite an upset for a lot of people. So, but first of all, we're going to talk a little bit about the history of Lemondogs, because Lemondogs are quite an underground team. You're always rated very high, but when people are looking for results, when people there's a couple events that you attended, but it's not like the big leagues, not like ESCA, which is I think a lot of people are looking at that. So I want to ask you a little bit about is that intentional? So we're going to start with you came from CS Source, where you were up and comers, and then you just ballooned in CSGO. You were all of a sudden you were top 5 in Europe considered. So I want to ask you a little bit about how was that that change for you in mentality, in how you were being treated as a player, from going to up and comer to being established in the top of Europe.
I think in Source we were kind of up and coming, I guess. Went to Copenhagen Games with Beast and finished maybe 13th to 16th. And I guess that's alright for our first event, but yeah, I guess we were sort of up and coming, but not really that good. But in CSGO, we played with some new players from Sweden, and they learned us really much. So I think we just need a bit more experience, I guess.
So what about the fact that you do not play ESCA and you did play in the Fnatic Fragout League? Is it that you want to alternate between having PCWs and having officials, or is it just that they didn't invite you because they didn't think maybe you were good enough or something like that? Is it a consideration that you have, or is it just random that you're not in some of these big leagues?
Yeah, basically we didn't get invited to any of the leagues, so I don't really care about that. But it's kind of weird that we didn't get an invite, because we've been top 5 in CSGO since November, I think, so that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, that's short answer. And are you like so you think it's bullshit? Are you really upset about it? Do you think that if you were invited into these leagues, maybe you would have a little bit more experience already? Maybe you would be a little bit better than you are now, or do you not think it matters a lot?
It might have given us a bit more experience, but I don't really care that much about online anyway. So, but I would like to have an invite for like big online tournaments and stuff like that. But unfortunately, we don't. So.
Well, it is the way it is, right? So I think the most important thing is the LAN right here. We can talk a little bit about your history, but I think the most unexpected thing was that you didn't go out of your group here, because when everyone was saying Lemondogs first seed any time of the day, and all of a sudden here you are, you lose against Esports Serbia, you lose against 3D Max, I think, and you lose also against LDLC in your team. Can you talk us, you can briefly through the games, you don't have to go in depth, but what are the key factors why maybe this LAN didn't go so well for you?
In my opinion, we just play shit. In the beginning versus Esports Serbia, we played awful. We didn't talk, and we just said someone just said, "I'll go B," and then nothing more. People were kind of emo, I guess. I'm not sure. It didn't feel like we were playing so. I'm not sure what happened, but we played awful the whole event, every match. So we just have to improve, go back to practice, and hopefully we'll do better at Copenhagen Games.
What do you see is your strength at this in the team? Is it the individual skill of your players? Is it the teamwork that combines you? What do you say is your biggest feat?
Probably individual, because we have 4 players, or I guess all of us can really step up at LANs and everything like that. But none of us really played good at this LAN, so I'm not sure. We prepared really well in terms of practices. We played 4 or 5 times a day, so I'm not sure what happened. Just unlucky, I guess.
And about the teams that you played against, I think what I saw as a big differing factor between you And those teams, for example, had you drawn someone like Logix, someone like TCM, those are relatively young teams. LDLC is a young team, but they are experienced players. Apex played in Very Games, the LDLC guys Happy and Maniac played in Crystal Serve Extensive. They got a lot of experience. And 3D Max obviously too, with Guardian, PHP, they have so many events that they have played, and you guys have only played about 2 or 3 together, I think. Was that a big part of why you lost, or is it genuinely just because you played bad and not because maybe they played good as a team?
Of course they played good, but we played really bad every match. But I guess experience is a lot to have, and we have only been to 2-3 LANs, so I just think we need a bit more time together so we can learn more stuff, and need to check more demos and stuff like that. Make sure we fix our mistakes, and yeah.
So coming out of each LAN, you started off Copenhagen Games, Thor Open, when DreamHack. So you've got a couple events under your belt right now. Obviously, by far not as many as let's say PHP, but I mean it's quite a list of names, right? How long do you think until you would say you are at least at a level where the experience of playing LANs might stop you from playing a little bit inconsistent, or is that hard to say?
About the experience, I guess I just think in CSGO you get a lot more experience because there's a lot better team here. Like every top team from 1.6 and Source is playing, so like every match is gonna be tough at LAN. Like there's no easy matches in my opinion, but I guess if we just fix our mistakes and make sure we don't fuck anything up like in practices, or so we play productive like in practices and make sure we do good online as well and not play shit every time. So, I guess.
Yeah, I think we've discussed most of the factors, and I want to ask you to give a little bit of feedback for us, because you weren't at the eSports Heaven Prague, but this is the second event we've hosted, and we ask every person that we interview, tell us something that we did good, tell us everything that we did wrong so that we can improve, because obviously we got Birmingham coming up. How can we improve the experience for you as players for the events?
I think the event was really good. The only thing that was bad was the monitors, I guess. I haven't played on a 75 Hz since maybe 4 years, so that was kind of sad, I guess. But other than that, I think the event is great. I really like that the LAN is in the hotel, so yeah, I'll probably come to the next event if we can afford it.
I think we'd love to have you there. Looking forward to see you in eSports Heaven Birmingham if you can make it out there. And I'm gonna give you the final words. Maybe you want to thank some fans, thank the sponsors and all that.
Yeah, I would like to thank Lemondogs and Razer for sending us here, and all our fans, and hopefully they'll stay with us even though we failed this LAN.
Alright. I want to thank you again for the interview, and to all the viewers out at cadred.org. This was Berg, but we've got a lot of other interviews coming up. I hear 3D Max are willing, CRG. We've got LDLC coming up, so do stay tuned for more coverage live from eSports Heaven Vienna.